Arnab.
Oh, okay.
Did you ask me, Arnab?
That line,
just let Congress party come in and then I'll come back to you. Yes.
That sentence which you just mentioned about persecuting.
Not persecuting.
That summarizes the conduct, action, persecuted Hindus to be brought to India as their homeland. The sentence summarizes the conduct, the action, the ideology and the vision of the party. And you can very well imagine that by pushing it on the 40th page or the 41st page, the document still remains on their ideology. The rest of it is cut paste from the Congress manifesto. The only thing is that because they have not applied the mind, they have not shown how they are going to do it. We in the Congress manifesto have given the way how we are going to do all this as put in the manifesto by giving a right base to the people of this country, rights.
No, why would they copy you?
They have not been able to tell how they are going to go about.
Well, this whole copycat argument has to stop, Amit Agnik, now.
Manifesto. Yes, the copycat argument. The only real manifesto is the 3 points which have been there continuously from 1999. If you take the Ram Mandir, only one word is added and that is within the constitutional framework. We have to give them credit for using the word constitution.
And who did you, okay fine, so who did you copy from? No, Amit Agnik, just a minute. No, 1 second, 1 minute, please, let's not, please understand this, okay? You want to be stuck on one point. Ram Mandir 1998 manifesto. I asked the question. I think they have abridged on Ram Mandir. They brought this other part in. But on Ram Mandir, they have said legal, judicial and constitutional framework. What are you apprehensive about? What are you condemning? Is it wrong to say legal, judicial and constitutional framework? You want it to Ram Mandir to happen in an illegal, extrajudicial and unconstitutional method?
They realize that they have to do everything within the constitutional.
And are you on a sticky wicket? Are you on a sticky wicket?
Everyone is within the constitutional.
Are you on a sticky wicket?
Why should they mention it at all?
1 second.
That means that whatever they did in 92 or for the last 2 decades was unconstitutional.
1 minute. No, he'll respond. But Gaurav Bhatia must take a non-political position on this. No, but the Gaurav Bhatia, the problem is Gaurav Bhatia's enthusiasm for criticism dies down when he sees a Congress person on the other side. It rises like our Twitter trend tonight. And by the way, Modi manifesto hashtag is India's top #1 Twitter trend. So there's a lot of interest in this debate we are having. You know, Gaurav, be honest today. Tell the Congress party that they are the ones on a sticky wicket because they use their manifesto for vote bank politics. They are the ones who hint at bringing reservations in the private sector. They are the one who are, because they want the SC, ST, OBC community to be on their side just before the elections. Each time before the elections, they bring up this issue of reservations in the private sector. On the other hand, would you compliment the BJP for abridging the reference on Ram Mandir? And that too, re-emphasizing that it would happen within a legal, judicial and constitutional framework. Come on, Gaurav, here's your opportunity to be non-political for once. At least non-political in the nature of your response. Absence of bias.
Arnab.
Yes. Yes, and then MJ Akbar will respond.
Let me first just remind you that when the Congress manifesto was released, it was the Samajwadi Party which criticized the manifesto, saying that they are playing with the feelings of a particular community.
Superficial and
talking about reservation for minorities only. No, just listen to me. Don't interrupt me, please. Don't interrupt me. The Congress only thinks of a particular community during elections. They are not consistent with their stand, and the Samajwadi Party had criticized their manifesto and their action. But more importantly, in today's BJP's manifesto, I would like to say one thing which I think you are adding. I have the manifesto with me.
What
they talk about the Ram Mandir, and what they have done by talking about Ram Mandir is they say that we will facilitate the construction of Ram Temple within the framework of Constitution.
Yeah. So what do you want?
This matter is pending before the Supreme Court, and say tomorrow a government comes, even if it is the BJP government.
So what's your point,
they
MJ
have to
Akbar?
be
Make it directly,
towards both the communities.
Fine.
My point is this, that they have already taken a stand in favor of a particular community, and they have let down the other community. The Union of India has to take a neutral stand, not in favor of a particular community. And the two words that you were harping on, you said legal and judicial. The legal and judicial term has not been used in their manifesto.
Fine. So I get your
point, Arnab, is that the Setu Samundram that they talk about.
MJ Akbar responding.
Also. It's a matter pending before the Supreme Court.
Okay, Pravan Verma also comes in, please. We let MJ to respond to both of you after that. Yes, Pravan Verma. What are you jumping to?
Because before MJ replies, Arnab, I want to ask you, have you read the introduction to the manifesto? I'm sure you have.
I have.
It's a very revealing 2 pages.
Yes.
Because I want to say to you, the introduction is the key. Because it extols, and not wrongly, ancient India before the pre-medieval period. Every achievement is given of that period, and nothing is mentioned even remotely about
what conspiracy are you smelling?
Years, which gives...
What conspiracy are you smelling?
Please understand what I'm saying, Arnab. I am saying to you that if there is a key to understand the manifesto and the continued presence of a certain mindset of thinking, there is not even a mention in the extolation of Indian civilization of anything after the ancient Hindu period. After pre-medieval India, as if India has never existed.
Okay, so
1,000 years of a Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb and the enrichment
of okay, so you gave up on the medieval period, gave up on centuries of Indian history. Gave up.
I want to ask you, what does it
have
mean?
Acted in a responsible manner?
Fine. So
why couldn't they say that they would work with both communities to find an amicable solution?
Okay.
They could have mentioned that in their manifesto.
No, one second. No. So two arguments there, right?
We will construct a Ram temple.
No. 1 minute. 3 arguments. Okay. 1, no reference to secularism. MJ Akbar, I want specific replies. Avoiding the secular word. That's what Sudhindra Kulkarni says. Okay. Secondly, why are you picking up a subject which is in the judicial arena? That's what Gaurav Bhatia says. And third, you give up the entire...
And you favor a community.
You don't talk about centuries of Indian history because you think that will mean extolling what the Mughals and others, I think that's the reference, have done to the great civilization of India and added to the civilization of India. MJ Akbar, come on, respond. Whoever you want first.
Let me say very, very, very clearly that the moment you say that the only religion of anyone in public office is the Constitution of India, then you go on to repeat and say that the only epic, the sacred text of Indian politics is the Constitution of India. And the Constitution of India says that secularism is a basic plank. You are endorsing that. 3 weeks ago, there was a book which was released called Muditva. 14 points, so it began, the opening sentence of it was on secularism, and it defined secularism as the equality of all faiths before the law.
MJ Akbar, this
number 2,
very line destroys the essence of the entire manifesto, because you are favoring a community. Why couldn't you be neutral towards both communities? Why couldn't you say that you will settle it in an amicable manner?
Counter questions allowed, but Sudhindra Kulkarni wants to ask a counter question to MJ Akbar. Sudhindra Kulkarni has a counter question. Gaurav Bhatia, just a minute. That was Sudhindra Kulkarni's point to MJ. Yes, Sudhindra Kulkarni satisfied with MJ Akbar's judicial arguments. 1 second.
MJ is saying that the BJP has pledged its adherence to the Constitution of India, and therefore there was no need to explicitly speak about secularism. You see, that is...
what? What? Please be direct. Are you trying to be polite with MJ?
Intelligent argument. But the fact of the matter is that, in India, there's a very serious discourse going on about secularism. And in the past, the BJP itself has said it is pseudo-secularism and we believe in genuine secularism and positive secularism. Here was an opportunity and also a requirement for the BJP to exactly say what it means by
I'll give
secularism.
MJ one counter rebut.
Now, I want to say one more thing. You see, the BJP, this manifesto, please, please, MJ, I have another important point to make. You know, this manifesto actually shows the BJP moving in a zigzag manner towards a moderate position. You know, it says at one point that the BJP believes in India being one country, one people, one nation. Yeah. In the past, it said BJP believes or Jansangh believes in India as one country, one people, one culture. Now, one culture formulation has been now left out, which is a good thing, because it means that the BJP now accepts the cultural diversity of India.
So that's good.
Now, cultural diversity, you know, next is religious diversity. Accept religious diversity. Accept respect for all faiths. Well, that is secularism. Okay, now should we say it explicitly?
Okay, should we give MJ a chance to reply to also what Pawan Verma says? I'm not sure of this. Was there this selective editing of centuries of Indian history to keep certain parts out, which is Pawan Verma's charge against you?
No, in fact, Arnab, in fact, I'm forgetting the name of the person, but the person that begins the opening quotation is from a Muslim scholar in Umayyad, Spain, who actually wrote at that time, and this must have been the 14th century if I'm not mistaken, which is well into what is called the rule of the Muslim sultans, that India is a fountainhead of wisdom and a great source of, you know, innovative products.
It's a tribute to the past.
That, yes.
No, what's wrong? Pawan Verma, concede.
Yes,
you concede.
It's much nothing.
Pawan Verma, you concede.
Wrong with that.
I'm just making a point. Arnab, please understand that there is an explanation.
May I also have the mild privilege of actually completing the point I'm making?
But I'm saying 1,000 years of history.
That, you know, that there is, that it's not just 1,000 years of history, it's a question also of what, you know, everyone recognizes that before the British colonial period, as I began by saying that one of the great problems of the British colonial period was the creation of the great rift between Hindus and Muslims. And over again, I must stress that the program that was released in the name of Narendra Modi as his fundamental critique of governance and what he was planning to do, the opening paragraph of that which I released said that India is a secular nation and secularism is the equality of all faiths before the law.
1 minute left and Ami Agnik and Gaurav Bhatia. Ami Agnik, Gaurav Bhatia, Ram Temple issue.
I would also like to see.
I allow one counter question.
Now the issue remains on Hindutva. So on Hindutva and the ideology is
I'm glad to see that people accept moderation.
It may be on 41 page, but the fact remains that they have not deterred from their earlier manifestos and they are still on those 3 points which they did not discuss in the last 10 years, never even chose to speak about it, but nonetheless they made it very clear in the manifesto that this is what we stand for.
Arnab, I think it is clear from the manifesto that their real face is about communalism. And very importantly, I would say it would have been more secular for the BJP to say that we would talk to both communities and then find a solution. Why did they favor a particular community? It is not what is expected from a responsible party which aspires to form the next government. They've let down the minority of this country.
I propose a detailed debate over the next weekend on the manifestos of the critical major parties. Now, whatever people may say, manifestos don't matter, people have made up this mind. I think there is very much a lot of scope to discuss these issues in great detail. We intend to do that on the weekend. To MJ, to Ami Agnik, Gaurav Bhatia, Pawan Verma well argued, Sudhindra Kulkarni, it's good to see both of you together, you know, ex-journalists battling it out. It's good on other sides, you know. Thank you very much for joining me on this debate tonight.